Welcome, fans, to a story that reminds us what strength, faith, and perseverance can do when talent is matched with unshakable will. Today, we journey through the life and rise of Kamilla Cardoso, the towering force who turned dreams born in the streets of Brazil into a legacy on American hardwood. Her journey isn't just about basketball. It's about belief, about grace under pressure, and about never forgetting where you came from even when you're standing in the spotlight. Kamilla Cardoso's story begins far from the bright lights of college arenas or the roaring crowds of professional games. Born in Montes Claros, Brazil, she grew up in a place where opportunities were limited, especially for girls who dreamed of playing sports. Her love for basketball began with a simple passion, a young girl shooting makeshift hoops, often barefoot, driven by something deeper than just the game itself. There was no guarantee of fame or fortune. There was only her height, her natural gift, and a burning fire inside her heart to make something out of it. She was tall even as a child, almost towering over her peers before she hit her teenage years. But it wasn't just her height that stood out. It was her presence, her determination, her calmness. Even when she didn't speak much English after moving to the United States, her body language told a story of someone who was there for more than just a shot at success. She was there to build something bigger, to represent her family, her country, and every young girl who believed she could make it in a world that didn't always make room for her. When Kamilla left Brazil for Tennessee to attend Hamilton Heights Christian Academy, she was just 16, far from home, far from family, and trying to adjust to a new language, new culture, and a new level of basketball competition. The adjustment wasn't easy. There were nights when she cried, when she missed home, when she questioned if she'd made the right choice. But as she often says, faith was her anchor. She prayed. She worked harder than ever. And slowly, the girl from Brazil began to evolve into one of the most dominant centers in the world. Her high school career opened the eyes of recruiters across the country. Her blend of size, mobility, and defensive instincts made her a nightmare for opponents. She became a five-star recruit, one of the top players in the nation, and by the time she committed to Syracuse, the basketball world knew her name. But even then, Kamilla's journey was just beginning. The transition to college basketball was another mountain to climb, and she climbed it with quiet intensity. At Syracuse, she was an immediate impact player. She made her presence felt on both ends of the court, blocking shots, grabbing rebounds, and commanding attention in the paint. But life has a way of pushing us toward the places we truly belong. After a standout freshman season, Kamilla made the decision to transfer. That's when destiny led her to the University of South Carolina, to coach Dawn Staley, and to a program that was built not just on winning, but on sisterhood and soul. Under Dawn Staley's guidance, Kamilla didn't just grow as a player. She grew as a person. Staley saw something in her that went beyond her size or her stats. She saw humility, loyalty, and hunger. Kamilla embraced the Gamecocks culture, the sense of unity, and the drive to be great together. She didn't always start right away. She had to earn her minutes, learn the system, trust the process. But that's what makes her story special. She never complained, never demanded attention. She simply waited for her moment, and when it came, she made sure no one could forget it. That moment came during South Carolina's incredible run in 2024. The Gamecocks were dominant, but they were also tested. And every time the lights shone brightest, Kamilla delivered. In the NCAA tournament, she was the anchor, the rim protector, the calm under pressure, the emotional heartbeat of her team. Her defensive dominance, her rebounding, and her ability to finish inside turned her into a championship hero. And when South Carolina won the national title, tears rolled down Kamilla's face. They weren't just tears of victory, they were tears of gratitude. Gratitude to her teammates, to her coaches, to her family back home in Brazil, and to every challenge that shaped her into the woman she had become. But beyond the highlights and trophies, what makes Kamilla Cardoso's story truly inspiring is her humility. Even as she became a national champion, an NCAA star, and a WNBA prospect, she never stopped speaking proudly of her roots. She never stopped mentioning her family, her culture, or her country. In interviews, she still switches easily between English and Portuguese, a sign that though she's crossed continents and conquered stages, she's still the same girl who used to dream big under the Brazilian sun. When she entered the WNBA draft, It wasn't just another athlete moving to the next level. It was a statement. A statement that dreams can cross oceans, that representation matters, that women's basketball is global, and talent knows no boundaries. Kamilla's selection by the Chicago Sky symbolized a new beginning, a continuation of the journey that began years ago with nothing but faith in a basketball. And in the WNBA, she's proving herself all over again. Her defensive impact, her efficiency, her ability to control the paint, it's all there. But more than that, you can see her leadership growing. You can see the confidence she gained at South Carolina, the lessons she learned from Dawn Staley, the poise that comes from knowing you've been through fire and come out stronger. She's not just a player anymore. She's becoming a leader, a voice, and an inspiration for the next generation. Kamilla's story also highlights something deeper about women's basketball, the value of patience and development. In an era where players transfer often or chase instant recognition, Kamilla built her legacy brick by brick. She trusted her coaches. She played her role. And when her time came, she dominated. That's what greatness looks like. Not just talent, but timing. Not just success, but the path it took to get there. Off the court, Kamilla carries herself with grace. Her smile disarms even the toughest critics. Her humility wins over every room she walks into. She often speaks about gratitude, how she thanks God for every opportunity, how she thanks her mother for her strength, and how she never forgets the sacrifices that got her here. She's become a symbol of what's possible when talent is guided by faith and grounded in humility. Kamilla Cardoso's influence goes far beyond the stat sheets. She's become a role model for young girls not only in Brazil, but all over the world. Girls who see themselves in her story. She shows them that being tall, being different, or coming from humble beginnings isn't something to hide. It's something to celebrate. Her presence in the WNBA is opening doors for the next generation of international players who dare to dream as big as she did. And yet, despite everything she's accomplished, you get the feeling Kamilla's story is still being written. She's only getting started. Her best basketball is ahead of her, her influence is still expanding, and her voice, though soft-spoken, carries weight. Because she doesn't need to shout to be heard. Her game speaks, her humility resonates, and her journey inspires. In every rebound she grabs, in every block she swats, in every huddle she stands tall, there's a message that greatness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it smiles quietly. Sometimes it carries the dreams of an entire country in its heart and still stays humble enough to keep working like it's day one. Kamilla Cardoso is that kind of greatness. The kind that doesn't fade when the lights go off. The kind that keeps giving to the game, to the community, and to those who believe in her. She's more than a champion. She's a reminder that purpose and perseverance can turn any journey into something beautiful. And as fans, we're lucky. Lucky to watch her journey unfold, lucky to witness her evolution, and lucky to see a new generation of international stars changing the game one moment at a time. Thank you for joining us in this journey through the life and rise of Kamilla Cardoso, a player whose story proves that no dream is too far when your heart is willing to travel that distance. If this story inspired you, if Kamilla's journey reminded you what resilience and belief can do, then show your love. Like this video if her story moved you. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another story like this. Because stories like Kamilla's remind us that the game isn't just about winning. It's about growth, faith, and the beauty of believing in something greater than yourself.